Hello, everybody. It is time.
Strap yourself in because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Hello, welcome. I'm Dr. Olushola Ajide, your host on the Mentors Show, where we inspire you
McNice, how are you?
and to make a positive impact in your community, in your country, and on your continent.
Nice seeing you.
Across Africa, we bring you guests with inspiring life stories who are themselves transformation agents, making a positive change in their profession and nations. Subscribe to the African Coach
longest time, McNice.
YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Mentors Show. It's the Mentors Show. On this show, we inspire you. On this show, we help you reinvent yourself. On this show, we help you make positive impact, teach you how to make positive impact in your community, in your country, and on your continent. And on this show, we bring you guests who are trailblazers from which stories we can learn how to pivot ourselves, how to move and change ourselves to the next level. And tonight is going to be phenomenal, as we always do have on this show. We have a wonderful guest that will be with us tonight. This week Tuesday, actually we normally meet, I have the show Tuesday and Friday. On Tuesday, we had a wonderful time with Bishop Feb Idahosa. You can see that on my timeline. But tonight, we have a wonderful guest who is a transformational person who is transforming Nigeria one person at a time with the power of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a national transformational coach, if you like to call him. He's a super coach transforming Nigeria through the power of entrepreneurship. It will be great and glorious tonight. We're going to have great time tonight to learn. Please inform your family and friend. We are live on my Facebook page. Hey, our guest is already in. Hey, great. So inform your family and friend. We are live on my Facebook page, Olushola Ajide. We are live on Twitch at Africa Coaching. We are live on Africa Mentorship. We are live on Africa Coaching and Mentorship Initiative YouTube channel. And it's great tonight. We are going to have a wonderful time. Let's bring our guest in. Yeah. Going live with our guests. Wonderful.
Hi.
Good evening, sir. Drum roll.
How are you?
Very fine, sir.
Good to be here.
Yeah, good to have you, sir. Wow.
Pleasure.
Welcome, sir. We know you are very, very busy, and we know that, just squeezing time to be here, we really appreciate you very much, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mentor Show. I am your host on this show, Dr. Olushola Ajide. And on the Mentor Show, we inspire you. On the Mentor Show, we help you reinvent yourself. And on the Mentor Show, we help you to teach you how to make positive impact in your community, in your country, and on your continent. And as it is on this show, we bring guests who themselves are trailblazers, making transformational change in their community, in their country, and on their continent. And tonight, we have a great guest in our midst. He is a national transformational coach himself, an entrepreneurship, if somebody who is an embodiment of entrepreneurship. So we have tonight in our midst Mr. James Folusho Kayode Abiona, fondly known as JFK, is a peak performance consultant, an entrepreneurial coach, is the CEO of JFK Abiona Consultancy Limited, an organization that is committed in helping individuals and organizations to locate their core competence by giving empirical information, acting as a bridge from where they want to be and to move and to pivot to the next level, which is what this show is all about. He is a catalyst. He is a catalyst, a person that brings change into people's personal space, organizational space, national space. On the 3rd of June 2013, he signed an MOU with NYSC Nigeria to teach all the core members all over Nigeria, in all the states that we have in Nigeria. And he's been transforming lives of people through transformation, one person at a time. And he's still on it. He's actually also a consultant with the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation of Nigeria, and also a consultant with the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria. Don't wait, it's still coming. He's also a consultant with Transcorp Hilton, Nigeria. He's still coming. He's still a consultant with the Niger Delta Development Commission, just to mention a few. Wow, 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 wow. He's a person who is married with 22 years, married, and is blessed with 5 wonderful children. I guess those 5 people are also great entrepreneurs themselves. So welcome, sir, to the Mentors Show. Yeah, you're welcome, sir.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Let's start by saying that where we have had all that, yeah, that's the paper one. Let's hear from yourself. Who is JFK?
Well, JFK, James Abiona, is the man you are seeing here. In one word, I can call myself a catalyst.
Okay.
2 words as a life coach, in 3 words as a peak performance consultant, and in 1 statement, I help individuals as well as organizations to locate their core competence by giving empirical information, acting as a bridge from where they are present into their next level. I can call myself an infopreneur. I love to give information that is needed for the now, for someone to get to know what he's supposed to do and then take his move to the next level. So that's me. That's what I live for. To encourage people and to help people locate their core essence, their core competence. That's who am I, and that's what I live for day by day, one day at a time.
Interesting.
We live in Abuja.
In Abuja? Wow. How is the president doing today? Wow, great. Now, in your explaining yourself, you mentioned welcome Brightex 07, Avos Signature. Welcome everybody to the Mentors Show. We have our guest who is unpacking his resume. Now, in your point, you mentioned this aspect of, you said you are a catalyst.
Yeah.
How did you come about that recognition? How did you come about that? The awareness of that.
Yes, it all started from me, because leadership starts from the leader. Everything falls and rises on the leadership. So I noticed that I've been a pastor for some years anyway. Pastor for 10 years, from 1999 to 2009. Pastor, planted 3 churches. And then I just woke up one day and I found out that actually I'm like 5 horsepower, using only 1 horsepower to work. I noticed that my assignment transcends the local assembly. I noticed that my assignment transcends waiting for brethren to come to church or trying to win souls. I discovered that there's a lot of souls that have been won and they are still poor. I discovered as many of us in church, church is filled up with people who are singing, standing on the promises, and they are sitting in the premises. I noticed the poverty rate of the church. I noticed that in a church of 1,000, the people that are really picking the pews, they are not up to 2% of the entire church. I noticed that the revival of the church is like 1,000 miles longer than each street. And I noticed that as religious as we are, we do not understand that we are supposed to also be kings. We are
priests, according to Revelation 5:10. He has made us those the kings and priests. I noticed that we only have Bible schools, universities, and institutions, in school. We do not have in church. We do not have an entrepreneurship development process in the church. And I noticed that people think coming to church, being religious, will translate into being financially strong. I noticed that gap is huge, and that's what God actually sent me to fill up, because we are the light of the world, not the light of the church. And the salt of the world, the salt of the church. And every day, light kept trying to light. Salt is trying to salt every day. So God had to catapult some of us into the marketplace as apostles in the marketplace, in order to make brethren to understand how money works. So the issue of being a catalyst, I show people the urgency of the now. A lot of us in church, we are laid back, and then the sons of the bondwomen are using their bread to lift up our stew on a daily basis. We slave for them, we go to school for them, we come back from school and then work for them for a lifetime, and they converted without even us knowing. It's as if the great told them the secret and they hid it from us. And these ones, the few of them who are rich are so rich, and then so I don't discover that all the conspiracy started from the British colony, and from our colonial masters, so to speak. The schools are instituted for people to go, and stylishly, the academic system, is just disguised as the slave trade being converted to wage slave. That's why you see a chartered accountant after 7-8 years of sleepless night, started to account for money he can never earn. And to the people who went to school, actually working for people who didn't even go to school. So I became a catalyst because of this burden in my heart. I had to train myself, read over 1,000 books, and made myself someone that even if you encounter me for 5 minutes, you will never remember the same. To show you the urgency of the now, that spirituality does not translate into financial breakthrough. That the prayer aspect of your Christian life is there, but there is a place whereby you need to stand as a king, and take your place, in the marketplace. That's the burden in my heart. I discovered the educational conspiracy, political conspiracy of Great Britain, and I decided to do an emancipation of our people from that. Then, bad enough, the oil boom came and made everyone and every person in Nigeria to be infested with the national cake syndrome. Everybody waiting for their turn. So I discovered that those who are really having the breakthrough, they didn't allow the syndrome to affect them. They took themselves outside the box, and they actually reinvented themselves, and they made themselves useful to the community. And I noticed everyone who still remain in that confine, they're actually the ones slaving for those who refuse to be in the confine. So that's just the burden in my heart. And and we have a large percentage of the people in the country, even in the church, that are very, very sincerely poor. That's what I live for. To show people that you can be spiritual and be wealthy. You don't need to be like the rich man. You don't need to be like Lazarus. Lazarus went to hell. Lazarus went to heaven, not because he was poor, but because he was godly. The rich man went to hell, not because he was rich, but because he was godless. So you need the godliness of Lazarus, and you need the riches of the rich man, and then walk through the narrow path and make everyone respect your heart before you go to heaven. That's what I live for.
Interesting.
That's what brought about the burden of being a catalyst.
Of being a catalyst. Wow. This is very great, and I like the way you mentioned it, that we have won the souls, but their souls are won, but they are poor, and that's okay. They are coming to church, they are within the church, but they are just loitering around. And you mentioned something which I think I want to ask. You said you want to tell people how money works. And it's very interesting because what you are saying is just for me, and that is why I felt that maybe God has something to say. You know why? Because this was the conversation we were having on Tuesday with Bishop Febi Daosa, right on this show, right at this time. So it's as if you are continuing. All the things you are saying is what Bishop Febi Daosa was saying on Tuesday. So as if God is saying something, and I think that's why reaching out to you, you agree to come. It's as if God is saying you are the next person that should come on this show to address this particular issue of poverty in the church, of making us to understand that spirituality does not deliver us from, does not turn into financial breakthrough. Spirituality does not automatically equals kingdom. Owoma, welcome. Does not equal financial breakthrough. Now, there's this point you mentioned, and I'm already going into it, but well, I'll go, then I'll come back to what I wanted to. You said you want to teach them how money works. How does money work?
Money is very neutral, and money is not the paper. Money is not naira. Money is not dollar. Money is not euro. Money is value. Money is value. If you, a very good example is that, let's go to the genesis of business transaction. That's trade by barter. When people come to the market square in those days, even before the cowries, when people come, the farmer who farms with cassava brings its cassava. The one that farms, the yam farmer comes with yam. The vegetable farmer comes with his vegetable to the market square, and then the carpenter, everyone who comes that has value to add. And then you see the carpenter saying that, oh, I need some vegetables. Oh, the vegetable man says, oh, you need to fix my door for me too. My roof is leaking. And they exchange the relative value for what he needs. And you see the one who is selling potatoes, say, oh, I need some yam. And the yam farmer said, okay, I need some potato. And they check the relative value and they exchange for it. Now, the big question is, the person didn't come to the market with a skill or with the product. What did the person go back home with? Nothing. So, yeah, so in the spirit of that, that still remains relevant up till now. You see, I live a life in which a lot of my friends spend money to get certain things, but value fetches me the same thing. For example, I see myself, I sometimes consult for a particular church organization, and when I'm done, they don't have money to pay, and they say, oh, man of God, please, can we give you this vehicle, which is equivalent to how much, and the vehicle is what I actually be praying for. So when, so I found out that it's better you have value, and you get whatever you want, or you slave for money. And I don't want to slave for money. It's better for me to add value to myself. And adding value to yourself costs you nothing than your time. Your respect for time is a prediction of your financial future. The respect you have for time is a prediction of your financial future. I've never seen any rich man that doesn't value time. Neither have I ever seen a poor man that respects time. I've found that if rich men will spend their time, will spend their money to save their time. But poor people will spend their time to save their money. They work for hours to earn a peanut. But a rich man will spend his money to save his time. And for example, I'm speaking to you in Abuja now, and I'm speaking in Lagos tomorrow morning and evening. I catch the first flight tomorrow, enter Lagos, do my morning session and evening session. If I found a flight like 9 o'clock, I don't mind, but I couldn't find a flight. But my flight on Sunday is as early as 7. So I've spent my money to save my time. But somebody else will go and take the Chuku tonight to enter Lagos in the morning. So the rich man, and the riches I mean the riches I'm talking about starts from your mindset. It's not money. The people, let me blow your mind, the people that have plenty of money don't have a dime in their pockets. Did you hear me?
Well,
They have a lot of
they don't have a dime in their pockets.
You can't see a naira in the pocket of Pastor W.F. Kumi. You can't see a dollar or a naira note in the pocket of Dangote. You can't see a dime or a naira in the pocket of Pastor Adeboye. Those who have plenty money they don't even see it. They just move it. So people should understand that those who carry money are those who count for those who have it.
Those who carry the money, they count it for those who have it. So that is why you said earlier that you get 7 years to do ICANN, and after you are chartered, you are not able to grab the money you are going to be accounting for.
And that's every bank. So we need to change that mindset. There is the slave trade. Let me tell you something. The slave trade is stronger now The chain in the mind is stronger than the chain in the hands.
Wow.
The chain in the mind is stronger than the chain. Now, they don't come to take us as slaves. We go willingly as slaves. We go through the Sahara Desert. We go through the Mediterranean Sea. We willingly, even doctors, after 8 years of sleepless nights, travel to London to create a brain trade for their country and a brain trade for America. Willingly now we enter into the slavery, psychological slavery, economic slavery, socio-economic slavery, political slavery. Before they bring the sheep to exchange us for mirror, to exchange our fathers for umbrella, to exchange our fathers for hot drinks. But now we are the one that willingly takes ourselves into their hands, and submit our destiny into their hands. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to come up of age. We need to come of age and understand that when it comes to money, money is not the paper. If you see the pounds, you guys spend pounds in the UK. You will see, if you see a 10 pounds, they say, I promise to pay the bearer the sum of 10 pounds signed by the chief cashier, Bank of England. So where is the 10 pounds? The 10 pounds is the relative value that is attached to that 10 pounds. So the pound, the paper, right, that they wrote 10 pounds on it is just a promissory note. So what I'm trying to say is that if you don't look for that paper, create value. And I always tell people, if you want to create value, there are 7 questions you must ask yourself. If you want to create value, there are 7 questions you must ask. If you can answer these 7 questions, your life will begin to go on the right trajectory. Number 1 question is who am I? Question, that is identity. Who am I? Identity. You need to know who you are. The battle of identity is the number 1 battle in the school of success that you must fight and win. I've seen a lot of people who are sincerely poor because they fail the test of identity. In the school of success, you must have your identity. John the Baptist, Jesus Christ, Matthew the tax collector, Bill Gates, Microsoft, Steve Jobs, Apple, David Beckham, football. You must have an identity. Tiger Woods, golf. So the second question is, what problem am I created to solve? Assignments. Assignment. The first question is, who am I? The second question is, what problem am I created to solve? Assignment. Assignment is key. Assignment is what gives you your place in the school of success. You need to understand assignment. The assignment of Toyota is fuel economy. The assignment of BMW is ruggedness. The assignment of Mercedes-Benz is prestige. The assignment of Ferrari is speed. The assignment of Rolls-Royce is royalty. The assignment of every vehicle is in their core essence. And then you come to number 3. The third question you must answer is who and where has God sent me to? Direction. You must understand the direction, the location. You must sort out the location analysis of your destiny. You are not sent to everywhere. Who and where has God sent you to? Then the fourth question is, how will you get there? What are you going to deploy? What kind of skills are you going to deploy? How? That's direction. How will you get there? What is the means of transition you're going to deploy? And the fifth question is that, what are my fears and limitations? What are those things that limit you? That's sorting out a SWOT analysis. And then number 6 is, what are my motivations? What are those things that motivate you? What are those things that spur you? And the final question, and the most important of all, is the final one that says, what will I be remembered for when I die? That is called legacy. What legacy will you live for? Live by? It's very, very, these 7 questions. Who am I? What problem am I created to solve? Who and where has God sent me to? How will I get there? What are my limitations? What are my motivations? And what will I be remembered for when I die? These 7 questions, when you answer it, you will be afraid of nothing. Even if you are broke, you will not think poor. Your life will begin to move at a particular direction. And the good thing about the 7 questions is that every assignment has a consignment. Every vision has a provision. Everyone that is sent on us. God told me something recently. He said, James, never be afraid of the cost implication of any God-given vision. So money is not our problem. The problem of people is identity, direction. We get to know who you are. Money will open up. You will begin to see yourself. I want to ask a question. You are in UK. Must you know how to speak Elizabethan English before you are rated as the most valuable footballer in the world?
No.
So it's not a question of
You don't need English to play football.
If you have the football, I've seen the most valuable players. Most of the valuable players they don't even have to speak the English. So I have found out that when we talk about value, check anybody who control resources. They are highly sought after. When a man is highly sought after, dollar, euro, naira, pounds, we follow the person. Value is the key. For someone who wants to know the definition of money, do not look for the notes. Do not look for the currency. Look for the value and bring the value to the table. I can assure you, especially in this post-COVID economy, you have a potential of 7.3 billion buyers. Just make sure that your product is international, it crosses continents, must have must pass the law of the loophole. If what you're bringing to the value is a football in Nigeria, it must not be called another name in the UK. When your product crosses your border, it must not lose its value. Your value must not start a bank in Nigeria and you move a branch to London and only Nigerians are going there. It's a local bank, it's still a local bank. Finally, we say in another atmosphere. When you have value, when you cross your border, all nations must look for you, not just people of your tribe. So that's what I'm trying to teach my people, my country, for us not to be a local champion, but for us to be an international champion, providing value that is intercontinental.
Interesting. Transnational and intercontinental. And it's very interesting that point you mentioned that like football is known as football in Brazil, as in the UK, in Africa, is still football. Even though America might try to call it some soccer, something different, but we all know it's still football. It's still and I think that is very important. Like, ladies and gentlemen, our guest is unpacking and is already getting hot in here, isn't it? At least you can feel that a lot of things is dropping about the key point that how does money work? Money is based on value. Know what value. Money or paper, what you call money actually is value. But paper is what most of us think is money. We think if we have more of those paper, we are more rich. However, our guest is telling us tonight that for you to be rich is for you to have enough value to give. When you give enough value, you get in exchange of that the paper that we are looking for. And he has mentioned to us about the fact that the 7 important questions you need to ask for you to be able to be successful on earth or in the school of success. Who am I? What problem am I here to solve? The issue of who and where are the target market? Where are the avatars? The people that like I normally use the word, your constituency, if you're a politician, the constituency, the people that you are addressed to. The point number 4, how will I get to those places? The transportation, how will I meet them? Is it through internet? Is it through Instagram? Is it through LinkedIn? Is it through Facebook? What medium? What would you website? Through WhatsApp message? What medium will you use to get these particular people? And number 5 is mention the point of what are my fears and my limitations. Overcoming your beliefs, because it has already been proven that for you to get money, it is 80% mindset and 20% know-how. 80% mindset to get money and 20% know-how. So if your mindset is correct, the know-how, the technicality will follow suit. And number 6, he told us that what are my motivators? What are the things that spur me up, that prompt me up? And number 7, he concluded, he said, the most important one, what will I be remembered for? Which is legacy. Wow, wow, wow. This is great. And I think I like that point of the transcontinental aspect and international aspect of whatever value you are giving. it must cut across borders without changing the name, in which people know what it is, in whatever sphere it is, for you to be able to add great value. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Well, let me pause here, because the key point which I wanted to ask earlier, I will come back. We'll come back to this. The tempo is rising, but I don't want to lose something. Now, take us back to JFK at 10 years old. What was JFK at 10 years old? Aspirations. What was JFK at 10 years old? Who were the mentors? What was JFK at 10 years old? What was he looking forward to?
Okay. When JFK at 10 years old is a young boy who just lost his dad.
Okay.
And who decided to be rich because I didn't know my father was an Anglican priest, and I didn't know we didn't have money because all we needed in the missionaries was supplied.
Mm.
When he died, when I was 9, going to be 10, died, and we left the mission house. And there is one event I always talk about that. My auntie was the senior sister of my dad. God blessed her, and she has enough resources that she was taking care of us. But one day she had a guest, and the guest came in, and those days far back to 1979. The guest came and gave 50 copper notes to the children of my auntie. But looking at me, he put the money back in his pocket and he brought a coin, a 5 copper coin, and put it in my hands. And when I saw the 5 copper, I looked at the money, I looked at myself, and I told myself that I'm going to be rich. So JFK, 10 years old, began to work with his children of the rich. I did not have a single friend who had a poor parent. All my few friends are people whose parents are rich. And I began to see the way they think. And that's when I can say I don't want any time later to speak about principles of success, that this principle is over 40 years old in my hands. The rich don't think about money. They think about value. And the rich always look for somebody that will bring value to their table. They don't like beggars around them. Whereas they'll just put you in their benevolence account. But if you want the rich to trade with you, if you want the rich to open their doors for you, you must bring value to the table.
Mm.
And the value, so as early as age 12, I could barb. Before electric clipper came to Nigeria, I could barb with a comb and with a brand new blade. So when I get to your mansion, I'll barb your dad's hair, I'll barb the son's hair. I mean, when they will have their breakfast, they will give me. When I get to another house, maybe that's lunch, and they give me the lunch. And by the time I'm going back home, they are taking me home with their luxurious car and bringing things for my mom because I will add value. So when I got to the Polytechnic, I added value to, and the sons and daughters of the rich people want to be my friend because I know how to talk to girls in those days. Those girls, the rich friend of mine who doesn't know how to talk, I'll be the spokesperson. I'll be the one to arrange it. So I am that kind of person that I'm very outspoken. Anywhere I go, people like me. I mix so easily. So the JFK, 10 years old, is a young boy who had a dream. And every year I have a goal for each year. I passed off for 10, like I told you, and some 12 years ago I came to Abuja, and it's been from glory to glory. I've never had a better last year. Though in Abuja I don't pastor anymore. This is what I do. I speak from business, from church to church, from boardroom to boardroom, teaching people the little I know about entrepreneurship and how people can, and most importantly, how to locate your core essence. So that's JFK in a nutshell. I'm a dreamer, and my major life goal dream is to see Nigeria having entrepreneurship as our national ideology. We do not have a national ideology in 60 years. America's national ideology is liberty. Britain's national ideology is time management, represented by the Big Ben. The ideology of China is reverse technology. The ideology of Israel is security. We do not have a national ideology in 60 years. And my prayer is that the government of our land will see this and actually bring entrepreneurship to the board to the front burner as our national ideology, because an average Nigeria is entrepreneuring. What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is having an optimistic spirit, being an incredible optimist, being hopeful. We are very hopeful in this country. When people got bored and the little they saw in Texas must not continue. So we need to be engaged by the government giving us that assurance that entrepreneurship, as a national ideology for us to embrace. So that's what I live by every day, and it's been interesting, and there's no regret about that.
Wow, 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 wow. it's very interesting, sir, that you are actually um, uh, reinforcing all the guests we've had on this show. All the guests we've had on this show, at any point in time when we ask them this question of what they thought of at the age of 9, 10, it's often the same thing. The dream they had at age 9 and 10 is often what they see themselves at now, fulfilling, walking in, and moving in. And you have also underscored that point. What you dreamt of that, wow, well, is it me? Am I worth 5 kobo? Is 5 kobo my worth? No. I refuse it. I must be rich because of that aspect. And in addition to that, apart from the fact of what you wanted to see yourself doing in the future of being rich, so that you don't have this kind of experience, your father, who was a pastor, you were growing up seeing him also as ministering, doing everything. That also brought it about you also becoming a pastor. So even though you are not in a pulpit, as it were, or overseeing a church now, you are still a pastor in the, overseeing a lot of people in the marketplace. You oversee people, and people will still devour to you, come back to you for assistance, and it's still the same motive of service, And I like that point in which what you mentioned, that at that point you felt, if the rich man wants to want me to help them, but before I mention that, you mentioned something very important. At that point, you decided that all your friends must be rich people. That is what we call networking today. You decide to network. I must change my geographical space. I must change the people I associate with. I must move. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are here tonight watching this, or you are watching a replay of this show tonight, perhaps this year you must decide you might need to change your network for you to be able to pivot to the next level. Because this year we are aiming that at the end of this year, all of us must pivot to the next level. And for you to pivot to the next level, you need to change the level of your association, the people you associate with, for the better, not for the bad now, for the better. Change the association. If it means changing your geographical location, for you to pivot, you might need to change your geographical location, because your association will determine your next level, the where you want to get to. Like as you were working with those people when you were young, those young children, you added a skill. You got a skill. And that skill made you to bring value to the table, in which the skill was traded for food, was traded for transportation. You brought something to the table. And like Brian Tracy said, so ladies and gentlemen, if you are here tonight and your concern is about how do I increase my salary this year if you are still employed? How do I get more money this year if you are an entrepreneur or you're a business person? How do you get more money this year? It is by increasing your value. And let me use this by the word of Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy said, you are probably one skill away from making more money than you are earning right now. You are probably one skill away from making more money than you are earning right now. So maybe the skill you need to earn more money, like we said, is networking. Maybe the skill you need to make more money is to add, what can I do more for my company? Maybe one day I will do another master class on that, about how to increase your salary raised to power 10. There's a way in which you can increase your salary raised to power 10, but it means you must add more value for your boss to agree with you that your salary must be increased. Wow. We're already having a great time. Now, sir, let's go back. Even though you grasped towards it, but we need to dive into it. Entrepreneurship. On the way you mentioned and try to define entrepreneurship. Now, for you, you felt entrepreneurship is having an optimistic spirit. Can you unpack? Can you please unpack that?
Yeah, entrepreneurship is I engaged in an argument with a billionaire recently, and the argument was very intense.
With a billionaire.
Billionaire.
Okay, you might need to introduce me to that billionaire too, sir. I want to change my own level too.
I was talking with him, and I have a book I wrote about 3 years ago, 4 years now. The book is titled 101 Laws of Entrepreneurship. It took me about 8 years to write the book. The book is 724 pages. It's like a Bible. So the man took me up. He said, well, this book that most of what I'm talking about is all about theories that if it is Dangote that wrote the book is 100,000. And the man said,
oh, it's 100,000 naira.
Yes, for a copy. And the book has actually given me a fortune to the glory of God. Still talking about value. If I sell 10 copies, that's 1 million naira. If I sell 20 copies, that's 2 million. The book has actually brought a lot of opportunities for me. So this man told me, he said to my face, he said, why should I buy this book for 100,000 naira that if it is Dangote that wrote it, you can even buy it for 500,000. I mean, you can buy it for 500,000. If it is Bukaoshika that wrote it, you can buy it for any amount that that I don't have a big company. I don't have a big company. How can I be now talking? And I asked him a question that punctured his ego. I said, by world records, the finest coaches of football are not very good, and they are not players in the time past. I said the people who are the finest coaches in football is men who entered into the world of football and knew what others don't know, and they trained a group of footballers and they trained them to become the finest, most valuable players in the world. I said, does he agree with that? He said yes. I said, now, I now gave him my story. I said, if a boy at 8-9 lost his dad, and he had a mother my mother was a primary school teacher. I'm not sure if I ever saw my mother with 300,000 together in her hands, and yet none of us went to bed without eating for almost like something years that she was her mother as a widow. I said, if for 8-9 I can manage my life, pay my fees, survive myself, assist my siblings, come to Abuja after pastoring for 10 years, left the church, left the offering, left the entire congregation, left my cars, and started all over from ground zero in Abuja. And in 12 years, for God to have done what He has done for me today, I said, if I have survived this country and been able to stand and be a blessing to a number of people with the little knowledge that I have here, I said, sir, I am more of an entrepreneur than any other woman being can think. Because what I know and what I carry, if I can speak for 1 hour and I'm paid $1 million, if I can write a book and it's been sold for 100,000, I began to do my argument to you, and I said, for me to stand and for me to be picking my bills, ordinarily, if all Nigerians are like me, poverty has ended in Nigeria. If all Nigerians can copy me, there would not, then Nigeria will enter zero poverty. So the guy looked at me and said, I think you've convinced me. And I want you to understand. And I mean, to understand something, and that's where I'm going about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship doesn't mean having all the money. Entrepreneurship simply means living above the economy. Entrepreneurship simply means standing above the economy. And entrepreneurship simply means if you are an entrepreneur, indeed, you must be COVID-19 proof. No matter what hits the economy, entrepreneurs always take advantage of every way. Whenever you don't want to know what happened to the entire world in the last 16 months now. It's been hell, and businesses crash, and the entrepreneurs are surviving. Last year is the finest year of my life since The
Interesting.
turnover our company experienced last year, in all the 11 years, we've not experienced what we turned over last year. So
Interesting.
I always tell people that when the going gets tough, the top get going. That's the proverb of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is somebody that when the unexpected happens, he becomes a victor and not a victim. An entrepreneur is somebody that has plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, plan F. An entrepreneur is someone that is too defended to be a victim, no matter what happens. In as much he opens his eye like this, he crosses to the next street and he starts all over again because his spider does not pray for a web. An entrepreneur is someone that will survive in Mali. An entrepreneur is somebody that will go to another nation empty-handed and he will create a fortune. An entrepreneur is somebody that can use his environment, what other people see as a problem, he will convert to an opportunity and bring the monetary value out of that opportunity. An entrepreneur is somebody that always see possibilities where other people see impossibilities. An entrepreneur is somebody who knows how to use the dog, the oil inside the dog to fry the dog. An entrepreneur is somebody that can manage resources and turn into valuable things that other people will come and buy what they despise. That's an entrepreneur. He's someone that can create money from where other people see challenge. That's an entrepreneur. So I always tell people, an entrepreneur is somebody who knows who he is, who has answered the 7 questions of life, and he can give another good quality of entrepreneur is that he can take any decision without even telling anybody. He will put his neck into it. He will have resigned from work. He will have walked out of what was tying him down before he tell his wife. An entrepreneur is somebody who's not afraid of it. He's somebody who they will be telling him there is danger there, there is danger there. Entrepreneur is somebody that will go to where that danger is, and when he gets there, he will see that no danger is there because the program, the mantra of an entrepreneur is that what you are afraid of is also afraid of you. That's the mantra of an entrepreneur. The mantra of an entrepreneur is that what you are afraid of is also afraid of you. If you run away, it will chase you. If you confront it, it will run away from you. So an entrepreneur is somebody who will go to where others are afraid to go, and getting there, what scare them off, you will not see it. You can't see it there. You know why? And boldness has an advantage. I always tell people there's the difference between a man who is afraid and a man who is not afraid is that the one who is afraid sees what scares him and is scared. The one who is not afraid sees what scares him and is not afraid. So that's the difference. The bold man is also afraid. Danger is real, but fear is a choice.
Yeah. I like that.
Danger is real, but fear is a choice.
So danger is real, but fear is a choice.
No matter what they lost, in as much they are still alive, they move on to the next thing. And they can have a lot, entrepreneurs can have a lot of losses, but one gain compensates for all their losses. They are very, very optimistic and very resilient. They can lose a lot of opportunities. They can lose a lot of businesses, but one that clicks, look at Elon Musk. I mean, the guy's lost enough. Look at Richard Branson. I mean, these are people, if you look at their stories, they've been there. You know, they've been at the bottom of the ladder. They've seen defeats. But somebody put it this way: success lies at the far end of failure. So successful people are people who have failed yesterday, and they call them entrepreneur. Look at Dangote. Dangote will always say that he likes to dare. He likes daring. Dangote will always say that nothing is impossible. Get to his table now in his way office. You will see a glass on Dangote's table, and what he wrote there is nothing is impossible. And the guy, he did nothing has become impossible for him, right? Because he believes that.
He believes it.
27 change of business became possible for him. So danger is real, but fear is a choice. The man who is afraid sees the fear and is afraid.
And is
The man
afraid.
who is not afraid. He's not afraid about the fear. He sees the fear as a reality, but he decided not to be afraid.
But
And
decided.
he moves on, and he discovered that what he's actually afraid of is also afraid of it. And by the time because he took responsibility, the thing has run away.
Interesting. Wow. I like that. I like that aspect of the fact that danger is real, but fear is a choice. And you see, it goes back to the point I mentioned, that quote I mentioned earlier, which you have alluded to earlier, that success in life is 80% mindset and 20% technicality. 80% mindset, your fears, your thinking that you are limited, thinking that you're not good enough. That actually is what actually cripple people. And more so, you mentioned the fact that some people might think that, oh, I cannot do it. When you think you cannot do it, then you cannot do it. Now, if Dangote could put nothing is impossible on his table, which is from the Bible, which is the word of the Bible, and he's doing great things, therefore we must know that our mindset is very important. Our mindset is critical for us to be successful people. And I like the way you mentioned it. It's so great. And just like you mentioned, an entrepreneur sees possibility. There was a story of two people that went to India on maybe this cross social study from America, if I remember vividly. And one of them saw that, wow, look at these people. Oh, they don't wear shoes. He saw people that do not wear shoes because culturally, maybe that's how it is. But the other person saw opportunity that, wow, they don't wear shoes. It means this is market. I can really go get shoes and come and sell it to them, explain to them the benefit of the shoes, and before you know it, the two of them saw the same experience. One person took the initiative and became a billionaire, while the other person is looking at. So our perspective is very important in life. Our perspective is critical for us to be able to take advantage. Like Riley mentioned, that during this COVID, quite a lot of organizations have pivoted to they've had 600% increase. While some are dying, some are reinventing themselves. And I believe strongly that tonight, for as many of us that are on this show tonight, or are watching the replay, my desire is that all of us will pivot to the next level. You will not have a mindset to say, okay, I am limited. You are not limited. I think it was about, is it 3 or 4 days ago? I wake up strongly in my mind, just saying what? I am good enough. I am good enough. I am abundant enough. I am good enough. And it woke me so strongly that I said, wow. And I said, oh, I am good enough. Just that mind, because our mindset oftentimes cripples us, limits us, and put us in chain. Wow. So it's now, you mentioned the point earlier that for entrepreneurs, when they want to do something, like God told you, that money is not the issue for any project. Now, there are quite a lot of people who think they have the desire to start a project. They want to make an impact. They want to do something. But in reality, to be honest, there's no money. And maybe they've done their feasibility studies and they've seen that, oh, I will need X amount and I don't really have the money in X amount. Can you just use, maybe speak to these kind of people to say, okay, how can they be able to, they've done their homework, they've done all the point they can do, they've tried everything, but still there's no financial commitment to start first. Can you address that kind of a scenario, please?
Yeah, there's a book I wrote. I will need to charge this. How long do we still have more?
No, we have, we started 15 quarter after, we just have about 10 minutes, we should be running up in 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes, okay, very good.
We should be running up in 10 minutes.
No problem. Now, for those people who have challenges about money issue, what I would say is this. You see, there are 3 things you need if you want to actually get a project started without necessarily having the money. The first thing you need to do is to activate the power of attraction. You need to activate the law of attraction. Money works after the principles of law of attraction. The law of attraction. How do I mean?
Mm.
Now, to activate the law of attraction, you need what I call expertise.
Mm.
There is need for you to know that what you are looking for is also looking for you. But you need to
Mm.
become the version of what of that thing is what that thing is looking for. The version of you that will attract the money you need. You are yet to become it. That's why you don't have it yet.
Mm.
What you are looking for is also looking for you, but you need to get to a point. The challenge we have, anybody who is looking for money for a project, there is one thing they don't know. Most of them, there are a lot of people think they have gotten all they need to know, and then they are now waiting for the money. No,
Mm.
you can never be looking for money when the time for that thing is right. Let me put it this way.
Mm.
Nothing can stop an idea whose time has come.
Mm.
Nothing. No, that is the most dangerous thing in life is when a man gets to a point that it is done. He has gotten a grip on the mastery of what it means to hear me. Vulture will gather where his carcass.
Mm.
There is no, but Nigerians, especially we the blacks, we will do nothing and we're expecting something. We will do something shoddy, we'll be expecting premium to be paid for it.
Mm.
We will do something that is of no value vis-a-vis what other people have. They will be, you can't do nothing and expect something.
Mm.
You cannot add value and value will not come to you. If somebody now they say that I've been looking for a job, I'm only sorry to say this. Anybody that looks for a job for 2-3 years is a lazy person. I'm sorry to say this. Why do I say so? Is that come to think of it, I've never looked for a job in my life. Job always look for me. Even at early at 9, I am highly sought after. Families wait for me to barb their hair. Families wait for me to do certain things that I've learned how to do. They say, go and bring, they used to call me Coyote in those days, but JFK, in case Coyote will soon be here, will help us to solve this out. I solve problems as early as a teenager. So you cannot, let me tell you, you have a project in hand you want to do. You have not done, the people that will fund your project, they are watching you.
Mm.
They don't want to fund mediocrity.
Mm.
Become an expert.
Yep.
Become an expert. It will shock you. Let me give you a story of one of our friends in Abeokuta. This guy came from Ekiti to come and serve as a youth corps. And when he was done, instead of him to return to Ekiti, he started to stay in Abeokuta and he began to take jam, those who didn't pass their jam,
Tutorial.
didn't pass
Mm.
including the son of his landlord who was taking them at a particular space, in front of the house, and was taking them. And it took about 15 of them, jam classes, and then maybe little or nothing was paid to him. But the set of those people passed the jam and they passed their wire. And this became known to everybody in the community, in the street. And before this guy, the next set, he has already finished the youth service. The landlord told him, don't worry, you don't need to pay. News went around of this core member that has a minor store, and about 30-something students registered for this guy to take them jam by the following year. When the crowd, there was no place to take them. The landlord's son, who has been roaming the street up and down, who got admission, was so excited. He said, you see that property in the next street? It's my own. Go and clear it. Use it for your classes. You don't need to just clear it. Just clear it. Be using it. The guy dressed the place up, invited some of his friends, began to take them. Now, after about 2 years, this guy started his own nursery and primary school and secondary school.
Interesting.
Today, 25 years have passed. This guy, in fact, is the first guy to be using, what do I call it now? This luxurious bus in Abeokuta to be taking children. This guy pays salary to over 200 people.
Mm.
So now tell me, how much did they have?
Mm.
How much did they have? He brought value to the table, and value attracted resources.
Mm.
So to everyone out there who is waiting for a sponsor, gain expertise. Don't look for sponsorship when you are still a mediocre.
Mm. Mm.
Don't look for sponsorship when you don't have mastery over that business. You gain mastery. When you gain mastery, the law of attraction will attract the investor to your. They are watching you. People are watching you. What you are looking for is also looking for you. But you need to become the version. You need to become, the change you want to see. You need to become the change you want to see. You need to become You cannot be rewarded. But what is wrong with the black man is that if we do nothing or little and you'll be expecting much. I tell people, learn that thing. You not learn it well. Mediocrity cannot attract good capital. People can encourage you, but the funds are waiting for you. I live in Abuja. Here in Abuja, there are more money in the house than in the bank. If anybody see you in Abuja doing something well, they will fund you. If anybody see you doing something well in this town, they will fund you. They will call you like this. And the same applies in anywhere. There's no city that doesn't have money. There's no, even the poorest country in the world, they have billionaires there. So in the spirit of that, one should understand that it's not about geographical location, it's about the person himself.
The person.
So I want to encourage somebody who is working on any project, keep working. In as much you have done something and it's not attracting sponsorship, you have not gotten to the way, to the very, very core. You are still on the journey. Keep moving. Don't do little and expecting much. You do much. Like Bishop Ideko used to say that I'm not surprised where we are today in ministry. I would have been surprised if these testimonies are not coming. Because the man knows the input he has already deposited
into
value
it
on his job. So value attracts value. And premium attracts premium. Give your best. Give your Steve Jobs. Today everyone is enjoying Apple. This is my iPad Pro I'm using for this program now. This iPad is 4 years in my hands now and it doesn't get spoiled. Steve Jobs was wearing the same clothes the last 7 years of his life. He was wearing almost the same clothes on a daily basis. They asked him why. He said, I have several clothes, but they are the same. So that the day I don't change my clothes for 3 days, nobody will ask me why. But the man is seated, focused on his project, and you can see iPad today, iPhone, iCloud, iTunes. Can you compare iPod with how do you call it, Walkman? You can't compare iPod with Walkman now. See the way the man took us to the new world of and you can see the man distinguish himself in the area of invention. And that's what I want to encourage someone in the black race. Don't do little and expecting much. Create value. It will shock you that the millions you are expecting will gravitate towards you because the law of attraction works whether you are aware of it or not. Somebody will tell somebody about you. Have you seen? The Bible says, "See a man that is diligent in his business. He shall stand before kings, he shall not stand before me men." And that's why I was trying to even tell you about friendship. A lot of people's life was destroyed by wrong friendship because evil communication corrupt good manners. You can't have bad friends and end being good. Some of us, we need to jettison the kinds of friends we have and strategically position ourselves to friends that will go that are going along to the kind of a future that are gone ahead to the future that we desire. And those are the ones that will spoil you and encourage you to get there.
Interesting. Wow. But you mentioned 3 things. You only mentioned activate the law of attraction, number 2 and 3. Maybe I missed it.
Apprenticeship is the second thing.
Apprenticeship.
The second thing is apprenticeship. Don't just be a one tree that wants to make a forest.
Go and learn somebody, yeah.
Learn under someone and, let only successful servant become successful master. Learn under someone who has gone to where you are going. If you stand upon the shoulders of fathers, you will see father. So we need to learn to, if you stand upon the shoulders of fathers, how do I mean? It might not be your biological father, somebody who is senior, somebody who has been there. Something you want to go and learn. Don't do little and expect much. Go and know the dynamics and the visibility of that business. Go and learn. I mean, if Harvard Business School can come to Alaba market and say, how did you do it that such a market like this became a $15 billion market? And they said it's because of the principles of apprenticeship. The Igbo man will bring his boy, his little brother, at the age of 12, train him for like 8 years. The boy becomes a 20, settles in. The boy starts his business. That boy to bring somebody, and that's how and the market has become $15 billion market. Because of the principles of apprenticeship. The final one is the fact that you need to engage with the law of excellence. You need to engage with the law of excellence. I define excellence like this. Excellence is the minimum requirement in the school of success. That's where I define excellence. Excellence
is the minimum requirement
in the school of success.
Mm.
You cannot be excellent oriented and not be great. You cannot be excellent driven and not be mighty. So it's very, very key. We need to be excellent oriented in whatever we are doing. So those are the three keys, I believe. Activate the law of attraction,
Apprenticeship, and
embrace the spirit of
engage the spirit of excellence. Wow, wow, wow. And we are going higher. This is just great. How we? Well, it's as if I should just have all these guests that have come out to have a serious master class, that a boot camp for days. You know, this is absolutely amazing. So it's great of all the points you, and I don't want to reinforce them because of time. One last thing I would like to ask before I let you go. Now, two things, not one. Two things. I'm sorry, two things. You have not defined. We normally ask our guests to define creativity, because we are looking at this show is premised on sparking creativity, which you have alluded to it earlier, but I want you to define. What would you define as creativity?
Creativity is expressing your originality to your world.
Mm.
Creativity to me is ability to express your core essence in your world. Let me explain it this way. The map of Nigeria is fixed. When you see it, you know it. If you draw it and you don't get it, you don't get it. But if you succeed in getting it, that is the map. People recognize it. The same way with you and me. Imagine Michael Jackson to have been a farmer. Imagine a Bill Gates to have been a singer. Creativity is not something you are going to create. Creativity is something that has been created already that you need to discover. Creativity exists. What you are supposed to create exists. That's why I gave the 7 questions you need to answer. If you answer those questions genuinely, you will connect. Because a lot of people are miserable because they don't know who they are. Expert says that 90% of heart attack happens on Monday morning between 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Because that's why a lot of doctors are going to sit in the last chambers. That's when a lot of people are going to do a job that is not their work.
Wow.
You know? So, I don't know. Are you seeing me?
Yeah, well, no problem. I can hear you, but just go ahead. I know the time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly. We can hear you clearly.
No. So, we need to know that well under the sea, God is not the one that discovered petrol to finish creation. God only put the kerosene, diesel, or any other petroleum product who founded Gary. God is not the one that founded all the byproducts. You know. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to get to that point whereby we become creative intentionally. We must creativity is something you must locate. What you want to create exists already. You are the one that is going to
Find it.
by starting points. You understand?
Interesting.
So that's creativity. To be creative in mind out. He said it is the glory of God to conceal a matter. And that is the honor of king to search it out.
To search it out.
Creativity is something that is abstract. It exists already. What you are supposed to create is waiting for you to create it because it exists already. It's your assignment.
Interesting.
Steve Jobs founded Apple for us. You know, Bill Gates brought Apple. You know, so the same way I tell people, I said, what you are supposed to create is waiting for you to create it. It's been created already. You are the one. It is the honor of king to search it out. So creativity to me is something that exists that you need to go and That's
Yeah.
creativity.
Thank you so
It's
much.
not that you need to begin to go and create. You know, you don't already exists. I don't
Interesting.
need to create what I need to do. What I need to do for a lifetime has already been created. I'm the one that's going to discover it.
To go and discover it.
So that is
So finally, I've overshot my time, as I told you. Just lastly, you've mentioned is the aspect of challenge, and you have mentioned at least copiously in this discussion about how you are able to reinvent yourself, add value. Now, have you experienced challenge in other areas of life apart from monetary, apart from money? How did you overcome those challenges that are not monetary, not in exchange of value? How did you overcome it? Can you still hear me? It's as if the network is frozen. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, even if we end on this note tonight, it's been explosive tonight. It's been a great time.
Yeah,
Can you hear me, sir? The network, it's been a great time. Tonight we'll look at the issue of how you as a person can be successful. He has given us the 7 key points, which I think we need to all go and review tonight. It's great. It's great. It's great. Wow. Well, I think thank you very much, sir. We can't hear you, but no problem. I think it's enough. We've had too much, if I may say. We've had so much that we all need to go. And now it's wonderful tonight. He has told us 7 things for you to know, questions you must ask yourself for you to be successful. Number 1, who am I? Number 2, what problem am I created to serve or to solve rather? Number 3, who and where are the people that I'm sent to go and serve? Number 4, how will I get those people? Number 5, what are my fears and limitations? What are my fears and limitations? Number 6, what are my motivations? And number 7, what will I be remembered for? Which is the aspect of legacy. So I think by the grace of God, if we all go and take all these things to heart tonight and know that making money is based on value that you offer, and to know that if you want to make more money this year, it means you must offer more value. Get yourself to offer more value to be able to make more money. And I pray the Lord will help us that at the end of this year, all of us, you and I will pivot to the next level. Oh, our guy is, okay, let me just allow. So that we can all pivot, we'll all pivot to the next level. That 2021 is our best year ever. Sorry about that. We know it's a network issue. I've just summarily given a summary of all what we've said, but I'll allow you, since you wanted to respond to that question of challenges you've experienced in life, not in regard to monetary now, but which you were able to overcome.
My major secret in life is prayers.
Okay.
Is prayers. There are other challenges one has gone through in life. For example, now let me give you the most recent one. January this year. January 9 to be precise. My Port Harcourt office, I had an heart attack. Cardiac arrest.
You.
Me, yeah. My BP when I was brought to the hospital was 250 over 130.
Whoa.
So I can tell somebody that I went to heaven and I came back. But you can only control preparation, you cannot control your opportunity.
Sorry, you can only control
your preparation, you cannot control your opportunity.
Okay.
You see, someone that ahead of time, is a tradition. I go to the mountain. I just came from the mountain now. I'm a mountain person. I love to just go and see God's face monthly basis. Not because I have all the problem of this world, because it's a tradition. The problem with Christians is that we wait for problem to come before we pray. But some of us, we pray before problem comes. You know, ahead of time, I when that attack came on me, as people who are people that went that way don't come back, and even if they come back, normally they came back with stroke. But I came back and I'm bouncing. I came back.
Wow. So it's now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the point our guest is making there is the fact that he believes in prayer.
I'm bouncing. But I give all the glory to God. It's not of him that runneth, it's not of him that willeth. A praying Christian.
Yeah.
Not just a prayer Christian. We need to be a Christian that will watch and we take our time to pray on.
Praying consistently.
Bible says we should pray without
Mm.
ceasing. Yes. So I believe that nothing past God. COVID-19 named the challenge. We need to be prayer that gives you sensitivity to the realm of the spirit and it helps you to know what next. A prayer you pray without divine instruction is a waste of time. Prayer helps you know what next.
Prayer helps you to know what's coming next.
Has 1,001 ways to something about God. Don't pray. That's it. You know. So I tell people that for you to be a Christian is a big advantage in the marketplace. A great Christian, for example,
For you to be a praying Christian is a big advantage in the marketplace. Wow, it's the network is so.
The prayer helps me to know what next in the middle of crisis.
Okay.
Whether you pray, whether you don't be promise or challenge, but if you do the praying must be what will happen to me. I mean, whether you don't it's money and even in the courtroom, you know, with all I know, when I now pray, I already start from where the altar stops. With my prayer life, no matter what you are praying, if I come on board to speak, I start from where the expert stops. Because in the realm of the spirit, that's when you can understand a lot of things people are struggling with. Knowledge, Bible says at the end of the age, knowledge will cover the earth as water cover the sea. A praying man, we look at the difference between Paul and Peter. Paul says, I pray in tongues more than you. The dimension of Paul, Peter does not come close. Peter's ministry ended in Jerusalem. But Paul went to Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria because he could communicate. So we must be prayerful and also to it's not sure. The second thing you need to do is to be knowledgeable. Be prayerful and knowledgeable. Read, do your research, have an information. You should acquire empirical information. Vision will give you a revelation. A revelation will back a revelation. You should not be sure you can that's all I can say about that.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry we were short. It's as if our guest is loaded. When we ask one question, a lot of books are just coming out. We thank God for that. But I do also hope there's one particular point in which also I want to underscore here is the fact that in Nigeria it's common among the praying among the church in which we don't go for medical checkup and we put everything in the hands of God. Do you get my point, sir? So there's a need for us to also have that culture, in the church. And for you, who is a pastor in the market space, you help disseminate this aspect of Christians must not just do them.
Very
Yeah, Christians must also imbibe the culture, not to say, I'm not sick yet, before I don't need to go to the hospital.
I'm an advocate of that now.
Yeah. So it's very, very important. So thank you so much, sir.
Very important. That's it. But then, before the issue of
The network now, but we're not hearing you properly. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. We are so grateful, sir. God bless you, real good, sir. Thank you so much. Wow. Amen, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you agree with me that tonight again has been a great masterclass, and I think you can go back and watch this show again. It's been great having you all here. On Tuesday next week, we have a great guest coming on the show. Please make it a date with us at 7:15 GMT on Tuesday. Thank you. Bye.